What's up, everyone? I'm Marquis Stewart, host of the Marquis Stewart Show, and I have a great show for you guys today. It's very powerful and the best one yet. I feel like I have Prince Esau, the Black Messiah, here with me. How are you?
I'm doing great. You're doing awesome.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. What is it that Prince Esau, the Black Messiah, does?
Well, Prince Esau, the Black Messiah, basically the prince is the royalty, and Esau is, we'll break down that in a minute. But the Black Messiah, that's the power that represents change. And we see that people need change. Revolution needs change. And so I come to bring revolution, whether it's through music, whether it's through finance, and basically to teach the people uplifting. So that's what Black Messiah, that's what Prince Esau, the Black Messiah.
Okay, so talking about change, you said because people need change. So all this that's going on with like Ferguson that has went on, and not only with Ferguson but around the world, like what is your outlook on that, and how do you want to do something to help change that as well, like with police brutality and just things going on with like the community, and then turning on their own race as well? Like, do you want to change all of that?
Well, I'm just one man. See, the Black Messiah principle represents a collective humanity that's fed up with tyranny, that's fed up with racism, that's fed up with all type of vices. And you know, I've been around for 20 years representing the Black Messiah. I started off as a Black Panther, new Black Panther, and you know, and I spoke against wrongs. I spoke against certain things, and I was always getting hit in the head, whether it be job, whether it be police, or whatever the case may be. And I'm just one man. And St. Louis has been a sleeping giant. Missouri was the last state to free slaves.
Right.
And if you look at it from another way, that slavery is not just racial now, it's universal slavery. And you have those who benefit off of people being poor, where they can't have no other choice but to work for somebody who has more money.
Right.
And the police state is ruled by the people that's got the money. And their job is to keep the people in check. With Ferguson, what was very unexpected was that the people said enough is enough. And they didn't expect a sleeping giant to awake.
Right.
And so with Ferguson, the people woke and there's no going back to sleep. And that's the change. So even if I'm not here no more, physically, there's a Black Messiah in everybody. The Black Messiah principle was in everybody that woke up in Ferguson and that said enough is enough, and spread it around the world.
Right. So do you still think that there's racism that goes on in Missouri in itself, here in St. Louis, also in Ferguson?
Well, you know, I have friends, I have people that I consider my family, of all different races and religions, you know, but with the way that St. Louis is set up, it's set up for one specific people to have financial dominance over everybody else. And the way the laws are set up, like, you've been convicted of a felony. Of course, probably about 75% of the black men have been convicted of a felony because of the way that the system set them up to run amok. And then they hit themselves in the head, and youth don't even understand what they got to lose later on. And when you look at who if you go get a job, 9 out of 10, who's the employers? Who are the employees? And so the racism that has been perpetrated in St. Louis is a financial racism. And the way to break that is equal pay, equal opportunity. But that's not here in St. Louis. You go to LA, you got black people as well as white people all making the same money. You can be rich or poor. You go to Atlanta, blacks doing real good. But you come here, it's a slave state.
Right.
And so the racism is now on a financial level to keep the money, the most of the money in one. This is why Darren Wilson got off. It was money that bought out justice. So there is racism, but the racism is a financial racism. And so everybody can have the same financial opportunities, that anybody in St. Louis can become wealthy. Anybody in St. Louis can become rich. And it's not where I got to go to the north side, I'm afraid I'm going to get robbed. But if I go to Kirkwood, I'm good.
Right.
And that's the racism is perpetuated to keep black Americans in what is called ghettos. Why do I gotta be in a ghetto? And this is the explosion. Because once you get people to become conscious of their situation, they get mad. And once they become mad, they want revolution. And once they get revolution, it causes a change in the whole system.
Right.
And that's what's going to end the racism from having dominance, is when the people, no matter what race, what religion, they stand up and say enough is enough. We want universal change.
Right. So, based off of everything that's happened so far within Ferguson and everything, do you feel like there's hope for, since they've already been awakened, to have a change and a break in the financial racism that goes on, like you say?
You know what? I'm so happy. I almost gave up on my hometown. I'm so happy. Not about the burnings. I disapprove of you burning other people's properties down. I disapprove of a lot of the violent stuff and people getting stuff off on the side. Like I'm finna go on, this Arab, I'm finna go on and get all these chips and these cigarillos because I wanted to get them anyway and I had no money. I disapprove of that. But what I am happy is to see that I was out there in West Florida. I mean, it was people from all different schools of thought, and it was beautiful. I loved it because it said that the people was waking up, and now there was, it was a police chief, and it messed me up. He had a sign. I came out here. He had a sign. White guy, whiter than snow. Stop killing our black men. It messed my mind up. You know what I'm saying? So the racism is racism is a power. You understand? You have to have power to inflict racism. And so I was so happy to see that everybody is sparking revolution for black people.
Right.
We follow us, Michael Jackson, everybody want to moonwalk, everybody want to rap, break dance, and all this stuff, hip hop. But now you're following us into the revolution. And so it made me happy to see.
We got to cut real quick.